Welcome. What's happening, good people? Welcome to the latest episode of Terrible Town Tuesday. I am your host as I look at lightning coming through the window. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, aka SimFootballCritic, live from the steel basement. And like I said, it is storming, raining, cats and dogs, and I just looked out the window of the steel basement and I saw lightning. Hopefully everything stays on for us, but if it doesn't, y'all know why. But hold on, guys. Give me 2 seconds here, man. For whatever reason, my software is acting nutty. It's asking me to sign into the chat. So I can't see your chat right now. Hold on. Bear with me. 2 shakes of a rattlesnake. I'll be there. Let's see, get the password right. Yep, looks like it's right. Should be signing me into the chat here. And of course, it's going to do this 2-step verification. Yes, this is me. Sign me in, please. Hold on, guys. All right. There we are. Not now. Continue. And it should be working here in just a moment. Not now. God, all of these questions. Come on. There we go. There go the chat. There it is. All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome, man. Let's get right to it. I am taking phone calls tonight. As you guys can see, the number is on the screen. So if you have something to say, you want to call in, please call in. If you feel the need to donate to the cause, I've been told I should say that. Of course, you can do it here on YouTube, or if you want to cut the middleman, there's PayPal, there's Cash App. All of that info is in the description. If you decide to do that, thank you in advance. But of course, I will shout you out as well on the show. Let's say hello to the early commenters. There's that lightning again. Let's hurry up. Let's see who's in here early. We have Jared Devil, Luis D, Drama Sidell, Rob Dilla, my man Rel Fax, Crazy Ron Gaming. What's going on, buddy? My buddy Y Dig in the building, 412 born and raised, BQ 412, Ghost Marley, Ali Howard. Who's this? Is it who is this? Is it Mr. or M Ruley? 427. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. He says, what is your Steelers record prediction for this season? Too early. Andre Coleman. My brother Kenyon in the building. Kenyon, man. Kenyon, I missed you again, man. On the PS5. I realized I took too long that night. And by the time I went to accept it, I couldn't because you were appearing offline, as am I. Let's get that done this week. Let's get it done. Let's see. Who else is up in here, man? Hello, the lovely Lanisha. Hello, Lanisha. Welcome again to another broadcast, our special Lady Steeler Nation section. We love it. Guys, make sure you say hello to our lovely ladies, Lanisha being one of the leading ladies. Good to see you again. Who else is in here? We'll read a couple more and then we'll get right to. Oh, Sade, another one of our lovely ladies. What's going on, Sade? I haven't seen you in a while, man, but I'm always happy to see you guys' name pop up, not only for my benefit, but for me just to know that you're well. You know, you're well. In this day and age, just to see you, it allows me to know that everything is all good, right? So what's going on? I know, Kenyon. I know, man. I know. We'll get it together. But all right, man, let's get to the topics, man, because like I said, I'm going to do a better job with, I've been doing good, Sade. I've been doing very good. Hopefully yourself as well. I'm going to do a better job with getting to my topics quick, saying what I got to say, and then leaving the rest of the time, or open time, I shall say, to the callers. Have condensed the show, of course, I try to keep it down below an hour, but even on Blog Talk, I set it for only an hour. Even right now, we have 53 minutes left, so let's get going. And again, I might not always go the whole time. So here are my topics for the night. Good stuff to talk about, man. Training camp is up and running. I didn't get a chance to do the live show with you guys last week because, we took a couple days, went to the beach, took my son and his cousins. That it was 3 nieces and 1 nephew and him, 5 kids. It was myself, my wife, my mother-in-law, and the kids. And we took them to the beach for a couple days, had a great time. But because of that, you guys saw a pre-recording. So I haven't been live with you guys since training camp has been off and running. So there's a couple things I wanted to talk about, man. Primarily, the first thing, the last big topic will be this whole Brandon Aiyuk trade proposal. And now that we got some information coming out in terms of reports of compensation, I'll get into that. Also want to talk about important injuries just to keep an eye on. And then last but not least, 3 simple topics. I want to talk about Troy Fautanu getting extended time at right tackle on the first team offense. And that's what we'll talk about tonight. So I guess what I will start with, man, is let's start with one of the lighter topics. Let's start right there. Troy Fautanu. Now, this is very interesting to me. Catches my eye because, again, before the season began, during the offseason, we were told that, we were told that perhaps Broderick Jones would be making a switch to left tackle. I don't think much of that has happened. I'll be honest and say I haven't been able to have a chance. I've been busy. Haven't had a chance to catch up on all of the training camp special reports from Alex Kazur and Steelers Depot. I'll definitely listen to the one tonight once I'm done here. But I don't know how much Broderick Jones has been on the left side, if at all. So I'm only going to give my assessment on the Fautanu news based off of what I hope might be happening. And also, this is going to relate to some of the trade proposal, right? As far as some of the guys the Steelers are willing or reported that they're willing to deal. So if Fautanu is playing at the right tackle, first team, that would only get me to believe that Broderick Jones must be getting some reps on the left side. Yes, Dan Moore was the left tackle last year, but in no way, shape, or form do I think the Steelers are focusing on getting Fautanu more time at right tackle and just going to have Broderick Jones be the swing. I don't believe that because Broderick Jones made a little name for himself when he took over last year at right tackle. The Steelers drafted him as a left tackle. Omar Khan has been quoted as saying that he will switch at some point. Not only did the Steelers draft him, they moved up a few points to get him, a few spots to get him. So like I said, I don't know for sure if he's been getting time, but I would only assume, I haven't seen the reports from the day, but I would only assume that Broderick is getting a look on the left side. And if that's the case, that makes me very excited. No disrespect to Dan Moore, but listen, what did I say a couple weeks ago? You draft 2 tackles in these drafts, one of which you went and got early. The other one definitely has played both right and left. Let's get these 2 guys on the field. So that makes me very excited. Like I said, I don't know how much time Broderick Jones has had on the left side, but I assume they're ramping that up. Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, yeah, there it is. Eric McDuffie says that Broderick Jones split first team reps today with Moore. There we go, baby. There we go. So this news, this report of Fautanu getting extended time at right tackle in the first team gets me closer to believing that maybe when the season starts, there's Broderick Jones on the left, Fautanu on the right, and we got 2 young athletic tackles that's ready to get after it. And Dan Moore, to me, is more than a capable swing tackle. I'll take that. And that's where I'm at with that. So that's great news. That's great news. What else do I want to talk about? Let's talk about some important injuries, man. And I will talk about these injuries. I'll try to give some parallel to them, the effects that they could have. So we want to keep an eye out. And I said important. There may be a couple of other guys, but I just copied down the guys that I saw that are the most important to me. And like I said, I'll give you some background on why I say that. One of which is Keanu Benton. It's important. Keanu Benton, we all know last year was looking like he, is getting his feet wet, emerging. He's emerging a little bit, and, he showed quickness, showed some pop. A lot of people were excited by some of his capabilities. We want to see him in year 2 and 3. And the reason why this is important, because again, D-line depth. Cam Hayward is getting older. We're not really solid on who else, are the rotational pieces. I mean, we know guys like Ogunjobi and there's a couple other guys, but like Leal but Benton is the one. Excuse me. Benton is the one that all of us said, yo, man, let's give this dude a year 2. He's going to be all right. So let's keep an eye on that. And again, this is early. This is early training camp stuff, so there's no need to panic on any of these things. But they're important because we want to keep an eye out on these particular players because of how it affects the rest of the depth chart. So that is one that we want to take a look at. And again, I don't think any of these guys' injuries are significant. It's just, some early things, missing a couple days here, a couple days there. Some of these guys are day to day. Some of these guys could be categorized as week to week. So keep these on it. And it's very important, especially since we are approaching the first preseason game. Pay attention to who are the pieces behind some of these guys if they are not to play. In case these guys don't play, let's pay attention to who is the first off of the bench, in their spot. Like Benton, doesn't quote unquote start, but Benton may be competing for a starting spot in base, potentially one of the ends or nose in base, 3-4, right? So he's important. Let's keep an eye on that. Alex Highsmith. I saw that they said Alex Highsmith went down with a groin. Keep these on him. Keep the eye on it. We know groin injuries can be very nagging. Now we know who's probably going to more than likely be next up the bat alongside TJ Watt. We probably will see a lot of Nick Herbig. I'm cool with that. Let's allow him to continue to get his feet wet, continue to work, improve. I'm cool with that, but who else? So you see what I'm saying? Now we got to look at more depth. Now, guys like Marcus Golden, okay, makes sense. And I think there was a couple other injuries, which was the reason why Golden came back. So let's keep an eye out on some of these guys who are going to play on the outside if Alex Highsmith is missing time or if he's limited. That is key because you guys know how most of us feel in Steeler Nation, and you could probably say this across the league. In today's NFL, I think you need at least 3 solid pass rushers. You need 2 edge guys that can get it done and 1 guy that can rotate with them. And you could argue and say that right now, our 1-2 punch is pretty good. But if one of those punches ain't there, then you got to be able to throw a jab at least. So keep an eye out on that, man. I don't know how severe it is. Again, I'm just naming some of these things that are being reported. Again, I'm not getting into severity. It's early. I'm just getting our minds focused on it. Let me see if anybody got anything to say. Sometimes you guys throw some added information out there. Oh, looks like I missed a donation, man. My bad. Let's give a round of applause to my man Luis D for the donation. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. Also, guys, can y'all let me know, did y'all see the notification on the screen? I didn't hear it. So y'all let me know. He says, regardless of if Justin outperformed Russell, would you agree Justin would benefit more for being a backup, learn more at least for this season under Russell? That's a tricky one. Let me explain why it's tricky. It's only because both of these guys are on a 1-year deal, so we would have to. Okay, y'all got the notification. Okay, cool. We would have to. We're looking at a situation where one or two of these guys have to be re-signed. Both of them are on a 1-year deal, so. In theory, I would love for Justin Fields to continue to perhaps learn behind Russell, but then we don't have the luxury of being able to say, oh, learn this year and then next year or the year after that, you're going to be the guy. Well, that would have to come with the understanding that Justin Fields will re-sign with the Steelers. Now, where it benefits us, so where I could say yes to Luis's question is if he doesn't play, his market isn't that high, right? Unless there's a team that feels like they could bring him in to start. If he doesn't play in the 2024 season or doesn't have to play as much or doesn't start, maybe his market value isn't that high and maybe it's easier to wheel and deal with him since he's in-house. And if it worked out like that, sure, I wouldn't mind that. But at the same time, man, if Justin Fields can bring us or give us the best chance, the best opportunity to be competitive, then let's go with whichever one of those quarterbacks are going to do that, again, because they're both on 1-year deals. I'm not married to either one of them, even though y'all know my affinity for Russell Wilson. Not only have I thought that he's been a great quarterback in his career, but again, I'm always going to represent. He's from the home crib, man. My hometown. But even with that, let's go with the guy who's getting it done. You know, we're hearing that Justin Fields is looking decent. You know, he's still struggling in some areas, but we're hearing that he's trending up. Looks clearly, if you've been watching the clips, clearly he has a connection with George Pickens. Clearly he hasn't been afraid to look down the middle of the field and go on the outside. And again, that element of which we saw clips of that as well. Whoever Baku is on Twitter, salute, because he's been posting crazy videos. We saw what I've been asking for. A little bit of zone read, baby. So if we can get that and it's at a consistent level, I would love to see it. But again, I'm at a point, may the best QB win. And got a little long-winded there, man, with my reply to Luis there. But that's kind of how I'm looking at it, man. We don't really have the luxury to say let's do that, and we know we're gonna have a Justin Fields for years beyond this year. So it's a little tricky, but I understand your point, man. I definitely understand your point. Let's see. That's right, Montravius Adams. I did see Kenyon posted that a little earlier in the chat. Yeah, I couldn't remember if Mont was still there or not. So keep an eye out, man. If Keanu Benton misses any time, let's just pay attention to who's the next man up and things of that nature. Let's see. Let's get back to my list. Who next is on my list? Cole Holcomb on PUP. We kind of expected that, but pay attention to it. I'm not as, how can I phrase this where you guys can get where I'm coming from? I would prefer for Cole Holcomb to be in the fold because I would like to see, as much as I like what we're hearing out of Wilson, you know, Peyton Wilson, I would like to see also Cole Holcomb in that mix. I mean, we gained a love and a respect for Landon Roberts, man. He really showed who he can be just from a mental toughness standpoint last season after going through that. And he played relatively well. But I would love to see a queen a Holcomb and a Wilson rotation, maybe even a Landon Robinson. I would not mind a 4-man rotation where you can swap both of those guys out and get production, give them both a breather, and then bring one back or 2 back. That would be phenomenal. But on the flip side, it does give us a chance and gives Peyton Wilson a chance to play and potentially start because of his explosiveness. Can't wait to see this kid in preseason. Because of his explosiveness, I mean, we get a chance to see him and Patrick Queen side by side. I'm hoping the Steelers are going to do that. You know, I don't know if how the rotation has been going. Like I said, guys, I haven't been able to keep up with my training camp. You know, the special report that Alex Kazur has been giving us. I haven't been able to listen to all of them because I just got so much going on. You got Gaming World. You guys see I've been streaming. I got other stuff going on. Just spending, you know, more quality time with my wife and son. Me and her are watching shows and stuff. And I just finished up House of the Dragons. I mean, haven't had a chance to just listen to it. Maybe I'll listen to it. I'm going to listen to an episode tonight, and maybe I'll catch another one on the way to work tomorrow. But anyway, I want to see Wilson and Patrick Queen together. You know, Wilson being the explosive sideline to sideline guy with his speed, and he has cover ability, and Patrick Queen being what Patrick Queen was. You know, we'll see. And then Landon Roberts coming in and doing what he has to do. But I definitely wish Cole Holcomb was in the fold, man. I'm not going to front. And this is not a knock to Landon Roberts. I respect everything that he did. But I'm just saying, y'all know I like Cole Holcomb. Y'all remember me saying that when we signed him. I liked him from his Washington days. I would love to see that 3-man rotation because I like what Holcomb brings to the table. I would love to see him and Queen together and infusing Wilson into that mix. And then, of course, Landon Roberts being a part of that as well. That's what I would prefer. So it sucks to see that he's on PUP. We'll see what happens, man, as time goes on. Next up, Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen is dealing with an injury. Again, I don't know the logistics, guys. I just briefly saw the report on Steelers Depot where they were saying these are the guys that are, so I don't know how severe and how much time people are missing. I'm just going off of what's being reported. Everything I just said, you can apply that to this situation as well. If you take Patrick Queen out of the mix, now who is it? Wilson getting a lot of time, and I'm cool with that, especially in preseason. Let him get his feet wet. So I'm not mad at that at all. But again, you got to keep an eye out on these injuries to see if anything, leaks into the regular season. Because like I said, what you want to look out for those of you that don't really pay so much attention to preseason, let me give you a tip. Sometimes, people, even in my own family, is like, yo, how you know about all these players? Well, it's not rocket science, guys. I watch preseason. I keep track of who's on the roster, and I watch preseason to learn with those guys that are unnamed, that the big names that we don't know, who's at what position, what depth, where they are on the depth chart, and I learn these guys, and that's how I'm able to talk to them, during the season. I'm able to talk about, oh man, such and such and such, like I'll be able to talk about the Ryan Watts kid and people like that because I'll be looking for them. So this is the time to do it when there's some injuries and there's guys that are forced to play in preseason. So if let's just say, what if Patrick Queen cannot play in the first preseason game? We're gonna see a lot of Peyton Wilson. See what I'm saying? So keep an eye on that. Who are these guys that are playing in place of these guys, regardless of where their depth chart are? Who are the guys that you're gonna see more of in case any of these guys are not playing, whether it's rest or injury related? And then here's one more. Roman Wilson. Saw that one last year. He's dealing with an ankle injury. I haven't checked to see how significant his was, but they said he was carted off the field. And this was last week. So if anybody could give me an update on that in the chat. But obvious reason why I'm concerned about that. We still trying to figure out who's going to be the second and third receiver. A lot of people said Roman Wilson might get a chance to play in the slot. Will it be him? Will it be Calvin Johnson? Will it be Van Johnson on the outside in 12 personnel along with Pickens? You see, it's a lot of questions. So with Wilson not being able to go, hopefully maybe he'll come back. Let me see what y'all say. They weren't for anybody got any info on Roman Wilson? My man Diggy says Roman Wilson is walking in an ankle brace and is week to week. See? So with Roman Wilson potentially not being able to go, obviously, who pay attention to that rotation? Whether we play starters or not, just pay attention to who the next in line is. Y'all see the theme here? And that's how you start to learn what's going on with the staff. Great. It's good to hear that he's walking, man. So I'm glad to hear that. Because from what they were saying last week, I just, anytime you hear somebody is left the practice field on a cart, that's never good. So I'm glad he's okay with that. All right, so those are the guys, man. Those are the important injuries to keep an eye on. Again, I'm sorry, one more. Russell Wilson. They said Russell Wilson, made his way back and making more progress. But Russell Wilson, definitely keep your eye on that calf of his, because one Justin Fields has benefited from him being out. So I don't have to say the same thing again. Keep an eye on it. Justin Fields might just happen to be the guy who starts, depending on what happens with Russell Wilson. So, yeah, Keanu Benton, Russell Wilson, Alex Highsmith, Patrick Queen, Roman Wilson, and Cole Holcomb. Keep an eye out on those guys. And speaking of injury, I'm going to do the praying hands because please. So far, Corey Trice is healthy. Are we going to be able to see Corey Trice in the preseason? Can he make it to Friday? Are we going to be able to get to see him in a preseason game? Because what we don't want is another Sinquez Golson. Anybody remember that guy? Everybody was so ready to see him, and we never saw him get in a preseason game. So far, arrow trending up. No injuries. At least I don't think so. So it seems like we might have a chance to see Corey Trice in action, more so than just hearing about what he did or didn't do last training camp and this training camp. So keep your fingers crossed for that one. Oh, another donation. I don't know why I'm not hearing the donation, guys. I don't know why. But you guys saying the notification is popping up. So usually I would be able to hear it, but maybe I don't have it turned up loud enough. But round of applause to my good buddy, Wide Digger. Appreciate the donation, brother. As long as you guys are seeing and hearing it, cool. Yeah, as long as you guys are seeing and hearing the donation, I'm cool with it. For some reason, I'm not seeing it. I wasn't looking at the screen. I was reading another screen. But anyway, he says, how do you feel about training camp fights? Hey, man. I'm all for it as long as everybody can come back to harmony when it's time that they have to. If they're fighting just because of, the competitiveness and the juices flowing and all of that, cool. But as long as right after that it's one of these, my man, I'm cool. Tempers flare. We've all been there. We've all been there playing sports or even playing against your boys or something on the court, and they do, you upset for some reason. Like, man, that's a foul. Man, ain't no foul. Man, whatever, punk, whatever. It's all good. As long as they can come back to harmony, man, when the time is right. So I'm not upset at that at all. But all right, man, last but not least, let's talk about the big news, shall we? You guys probably looked at the title of this video and said, what is Sim talking about? But you guys that didn't see the title of this show It is, and I quote, Brandon Aiyuk, thanks, but no thanks. Some of you guys may say, well, what are you talking about, Sim? What are you referring to? Here's what I'm referring to. This is what's being reported. I saw this on Twitter, and maybe there's more reports, but I saw this earlier on Twitter. Shout outs to my brother Kenyon. He sent it to myself and Tony. He said the Steelers, basically, what they're hearing is the Steelers are willing to include Dan Moore, James Daniel, Calvin Austin, second-round pick. Now, I don't know if there's any details to those inclusions, if it's Dan Moore and a pick, or if it's a combination of Moore and Austin. I don't know. But it just said that the Steelers are willing to include these elements in the trade. Again, Dan Moore, that's more telling about what they might be doing with Broderick Jones. Little callback right there. But Dan Moore, James Daniel, I don't like that. I don't necessarily like that because then who's the right guard? Okay, yeah, I don't like that, but whatever. Calvin Austin, which, we haven't seen him in a situation where he did much for us, so it's not that I would be willing to let him go because I don't think he's talented or nothing like that. It's just we haven't seen it come into fruition for whatever reason, lack of using him or whatever. So I feel like we're not missing anything because it wasn't a component that we were actively using on a regular. Use them a little bit, but like, for example, James Daniel would be a hit. You got to replace that position. Dan Moore could potentially be a hit because now you got to replace that with either a starting position or a swing position. And then the second round pick, I'll take that. No problem. No problem. That's cool. But it's reported that the 49ers won a first round pick, a Pat Freiermuth, and George Pickens. Now, I don't know if they want all of this at once, but I'm going to say no to two of those options. And if I was playing spades right now, which I would never say this playing spades because my hand ain't never this bad, let me tell you. But it might be a two and a possible. Two and a possible. Because I saw a lot of people saying, yeah, we could trade Moof. Possible. The reason why I would be a little hesitant on that, who is the other tight ends? I mean, yeah, people going to say, oh, Darnell Washington. Don't go just off of the name. Who else? Connor Haywood, not a traditional tight end. I'm just saying. I ain't ready to say all of that before we see how this offense will be unleashed with Arthur Smith, who features his tight ends. And if we're featuring tight ends, I think Freiermuth, I think Freiermuth would be a very nice component in this offense if he's being featured. See what I mean? So that's why I said, I'm going to say no to the first round pick. I'm going to explain that, and then I'm going to explain the George Pickens. So that's why I said I'm two in a possible. And that possible looking more possible even as I explained it in my own head. Because you got to replace that tight end. Oh, that's right. That's right, Kenyon. See? The resident scout is always going to remind me. I forgot about McCormick. Boing. Forgot all about him. Okay. All right. So maybe not as bad. I mean, it's taking a chance, but you got a piece there. So here's why I'm not giving a first round pick. Some of you guys might disagree with this. I think Brandon Aiyuk is really nice receiver. Has pretty sure hands. Has shown some yak ability. seems to find the right spot in the zone to sit down. Great receiver. Is he a true number one where he's a must-have? Let me explain. I think I said this a couple weeks ago. Brandon Aiyuk to me is what Juju Smith-Schuster was to Antonio Brown. I'm not trying to say he's better or worse than Juju. Just understand the analogy. I feel like Aiyuk is automatically the second look because you have a Deebo Samuel who is just dangerous. You can't leave him by himself for one-on-one short yardage because his yak ability, we already know what it is. And him running the football. So he's just an offensive threat. Christian McCaffrey, when he's out running routes, you got to pay attention to him. George Kittle. Need I say more? So I think that's the reason why Aiyuk is also a guy that's just he's gonna win his one-on-ones. He's gonna win his one-on-ones. He's gonna win whatever matchup he has, whether it's man or zone, because like I said, think about Juju when Antonio Brown was the number one receiver. Juju was cooking, but it's because the coverage was being rotated to, you understand what I'm saying? And look what happened. Look what happened when Juju was the number one receiver. Y'all remember how y'all turned on him? Ooh, I do. Oh, I remember. Ooh, I remember what y'all said about Juju. Ooh, it was bad. Some of y'all right in this chat. Woo! Now, I'm not saying, I see some of you guys saying I'm not saying that he's not a number one. What I'm saying is, what is he for the Steelers? Let me ask y'all that. If Brandon Aiyuk right now was on the Steelers team, who is he? Is he the number one or no? For our current team right now. Okay. All right. And you guys are making my point. Because you probably thought I was going to go the other way. But this leads me to my next point. If he's on that team right now, he probably is the number one, and we leave GP at the Z. But do you guys remember the third component to my spades analogy? George Pickens. Are we giving up George Pickens for Brandon Aiyuk? And I want to see how y'all answer this. Again, no, there's no right or wrong answer. Are you swapping receivers? Are you taking George Pickens and shipping him to the 49ers for Brandon Aiyuk? Oh, the tide is changing now. See, that's my point. This is what I was trying to say. This is all I was trying to say. I love this. I love this interaction. I'm not giving him up for Pickens. George Pickens is a, listen, I don't think people realize how much of a monster this guy is and can be. Because the word on the street is he's improving. That boy is a serious problem. I'm not doing a 1-for-1 trade. He's younger. He's cheaper right now. Aha. That's what Sim is talking about. There I go talking third person, which I hate to do. Ha. It's the money. Must be the money. That's my issue with it. I don't need the Steelers to spend that type of money, well deserved by Brandon Aiyuk. Let me tell you, because he was a good portion of the Niners offense. I don't want the Steelers to spend that money on a receiver or a first-round pick only because these receivers are a dime a dozen. I think we forgetting that. These receivers is coming out like this. They stepping out the womb walking. It ain't no more waiting. These boys coming in and balling. Within 1 to 2 years, they ready. You see what I'm saying? The Jamar Chases of the world, they coming out like, what up? What up? We here. Play me. That's why I'm not spending the paper. I'm not spending that type of bread on a vet. And I love Brandon Aiyuk's game. Kenyon will tell you. Kenyon and Tony, and we be texting. I'm like, yo, this dude is serious. I'm just not, I don't think I need to spend that money as a businessman. And I'm definitely not doing a swap. Now, if I had both of them boys, if there was a way that I got him and Pickens, oh yeah. Come on in, Brandon. But I still don't want to give you that kind of money. Because what's going to happen, good people? Now, George looking like, oh, yo. Let me get some of that come next season. And again, it goes back to what I just said. You could draft another one. I get it. But that would be my initial reason why I don't want to give up a first for him. I don't want to do a swap with him and George. And possibly I would be willing to let Muth go. Possibly, but I don't know. So that's all I'm saying. Those are my points, guys. Those are my points. Yeah, and like my man A and R is saying here, the point is if you can't keep both of them, no sir, you can't have GP, brother. No. But like I said, man, if the Steelers can somehow get it done, and listen, if they want to spend the money, cool. They must know something I don't know. Maybe they're banking on or being able to do a team-friendly deal, or banking on the salary cap going up. If they do it, I'm not going to be sitting here pouting. I'm just talking as somebody sitting on the sideline using any type of little logic that I can muster up. And that's just how I feel about that. But hey, man, great debate, great conversation. And we'll be watching, but it sounds like it's a little too rich for the Steelers' blood. So there you have it. There you have it. So let's see, do we have any phone calls? We don't. No calls in queue. No problem. All right, let's look at the chat. Let's look at the chat a few more minutes and we'll get out of here, man. Cut out of here a little early tonight. What y'all got, man? Throw anything at me. Tito Negron says, Eagles paid a lot of money for both receivers they have. They sure did. They sure did, and I want y'all to pay attention to the money that these receivers are getting. So Brandon is going to be asking. So I'm just asking y'all, do y'all prefer the Steelers to do that on a wide receiver? Now I'm just, let me turn my, like Dave Bryant would say, let me put my tinfoil hat on real tight. I don't know. I don't know if it's necessary. I just don't know if it's necessary the way these receivers are coming out nowadays. So the business side of me feels like no. I feel like I can go get another receiver with an already talented receiver on the roster. That's just my thought process of it. And I'm not trying to be cheap. See, I'm one of those guys that even in my regular life, I'm not frugal. I'm not cheap. But I'm smart, right? I try not to just waste money, whether I have it or not, whether I can afford something or not. I always look at the logistics of like, believe it or not, I'll give you guys something that I tell people, and people never believe me when I say this. If I was a millionaire, right, and I have millions, me personally, me personally, and before I even say this, let me qualify myself and say, guys, I love clothes. I love to look nice, shoe game and all that kind of stuff. But even if I was a millionaire, I would never spend $100,000 on a watch because it's a watch. I don't see the reason, not shaming anybody who does. I just don't see the point of me having an AP or a Richard Mille that I would never spend that kind of money on a watch, because that's just how I view a watch. I mean, and I'm a watch guy, but not like that. I feel like it's a waste of time. You understand what I'm saying? Pun intended. I told y'all, the MC in me, I'm always gonna have quotables. It's a waste of time. Literally. Not for a watch. Maybe I spend it on something else, and that's just how my mind works. So when I say some of these things, I'm speaking like that as a businessman. Why pay a receiver upwards of $28 million a year when I can go get one of these boys out of the draft that is uber talented? Watch, one of them rookie receivers or second-year receivers is going to break out this season. Y'all going to see it. You see what I'm saying? If I ain't got to pay him right now, why would I? So that's just how I think. Yeah, I'm hearing that too, Eric. They saying Van Jefferson is separating himself as the number 2. Listen, I'm not mad at that either. Van Jefferson, he was talked about coming out of college. He wasn't a top guy, but if he getting it done, listen, there's nameless faces, man. Like Tomlin says, nameless gray faces. I don't have to put a name at number 2. If it ends up being Van Jefferson and he's producing, hats off to him. A&R says, what else do you spend the money on? My crib, for one. Crib is always going to be late. What else? Like most people, I mean, you only live once, so I could justify it maybe in a car, like a dream car. I'm a Benz guy, so, if I had it my way, and I'm definitely going to get me one at some point, because I've always been a Benz guy. I don't have one right now, but near future perhaps. But I still wouldn't I ain't spending $300,000 on no car. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little more practical, man. I'm the type of guy too that I don't buy brand new cars anymore. I once did. I once bought a brand new vehicle, but now every time I've gotten a car, the car has been 2 to 3 years old, and every single time I've gotten a car for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 under the book value, super low miles. Because I think about the depreciation game. It just don't make sense to get it brand spanking. Talk about the average Joe. Those of us who have jobs or whatever. Don't make sense. It don't make sense. Oh, you talking about cap money. My bad. I thought you were talking about me. But hey, I gave y'all a little inside information. Maybe a cornerback, because they're a little bit harder to find as commodities coming right out. We don't need it right now. Left tackle, something like that. A commodity left tackle that's been in the league 4 or 5 years and now he's a free agent. I wouldn't mind paying the top guy that bread. Hey, quarterback, if it's the right guy. Because franchise quarterbacks don't seem to, grow on trees either. So those are probably the areas that I would probably spend the money on. I'm not mad at them taking a chance at Patrick Queen either, because we need that. Like a legit middle linebacker with TBD. We'll see if he is that. But I wouldn't be mad at that. If there was some Shazier type of guy, pay him. You understand what I'm saying? But receiver just seems to be a little too easy to come by. Yeah, I just couldn't do it, bro. Couldn't do it. Oh, we do have one phone call, man. So let's take the call. And since you guys have been late on the draw tonight, I'm going to say this is going to be the only phone call, perhaps. So let's do it. Hopefully they can hear me. Area code 718. What you got for us?
What's going on, sir? It's Jack Bauer in the chat.
Yes, sir. What's going on, brother?
Ain't nothing. I agree with you 1,000% on not spending $30 million on a receiver. I don't think any receiver's worth that kind of money. If you go back and look at history, look at the top 10 receivers. Other than Jerry Rice, who has a ring? Look at the top 10 receivers playing right now. Other than Tyreek Hill, who has a ring? And the Chiefs won 2 straight without his ass.
Good
you just
point.
don't have to spend that kind of money and give up draft capital for a receiver. Mahomes just proved it. Granted, we don't have a Patrick Mahomes, but he just proved you don't need great receivers to win a Super Bowl. So you're going to spend $30 million, give up draft capital at the expense of losing depth, not being able to re-sign other free agents or getting other free agents we need. Too many casuals look at big names and just want to get, we need a receiver. We need somebody to stretch the field. No, we don't. I really believe Roman Wilson or Van Jefferson, one of them is going to step up. And if they don't, we still have the trade deadline to possibly make a move later on if we have to. But I love the cap situation we're going into next year and moving forward. Let's keep that. We draft well. Receivers, like you said, are a dime a dozen. 1,300 yards, 1,200 yards in today's game is nothing special. It's good, but it ain't $30 million good. I just truly believe we're in a good situation. Trading for Aiyuk right now will potentially screw us up in the future. That's all I really got. Thanks for the show, brother, and take it easy.
Man, Jack Bauer, what a call right there. Appreciate that. That's 718. That's that New York. I know that sound. You see, they talk with a little different aggression. You know, I got family from New York. Yeah, I like that. Shout out to the 718, man. But yeah, listen, man. I'm not just agreeing because he agreed with me. I'm just saying he made valid points there. That Super Bowl one is interesting. And I know what some of y'all are going to say. Oh, well, you can say that about a bunch of positions. True. But even if you could say that, the point stands. He's right. He's right. He's right. I mean, I hate to say this because we all know the reason why. And y'all know the biggest disappointment of this era for me. We had no defense. But we had the best receiver in the league. Clearly. For a good 5 years. We ain't win nothing. We ain't win nothing. You know what we won? One of these. One of those from New England. In the AFC Championship. One of those from the Jacksonville Jaguars and Blake Bortles. Who he play for now? Can you believe that? Blake Bortles can tell his grandkids or whoever, I don't know if the man is married or not. I'm gonna just act like whoever he's dating or courting, as they say back in the day. He could tell them, yeah, you know, one time I beat Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh after their bye. And we had Antonio Brown, #1 receiver. See, retired. He's retired. He's somewhere telling somebody that. Y'all know we all got them old war stories. Whatever level of football y'all played when y'all, I got him. You know, I got him from my day. Boy, I remember that game. And he can say that. He's telling somebody that right now. And he telling them, dog, they had Antonio Brown. They had Le'Veon Bell. So all of that to say, 718, my man Jack Bauer is correct. it's not needed. It's a luxury, but you can win a Super Bowl without the best receiver in the league. All you need is some talent. He ain't got to be the best. Some talent. So, I'm with him, dog. What else y'all got? I'll give y'all a couple more minutes. He was, Flacco. He was. But a lot of people won't say that. A lot of people, and maybe even in the chat, they won't say that about Deontay. They won't. I feel like I was the only one defending that man. Ooh. Jack, you right, brother. And a lot of you not. I started to say that when I was making my point. I started to say it's almost kind of like running backs. Use them while you can use them and go get you another one. I'm just saying. What else y'all got, man? Question for the chat is GP. If GP has a great season, would you hand him the bag? Steeler cards. I'm not a flip-flopper. I'm going to stick to my opinion. I love GP. I told y'all, and some of y'all think I'm crazy still, and some of y'all understand what I'm saying. And I forgot who said it. Somebody recently said it.
90 seconds.
Oh, hold on, guys. Let me cut off Blog Talk. And my bad, if anybody was in the queue that didn't get a chance to get on tonight, y'all came too late, man. I'm about to wrap up. I'll grab you the next time. I forget who said it. Somebody, an NFL person said it. But they said that George Pickens has some of the best hands. And I was like, dog, I've been saying this. I've been saying this since his rookie season. The effort in which he catches. Just listen to what I'm saying. It's effortless. He's one of the best people, and I'm talking about all time of my football watching. I'm not saying the best. He's one of the best natural hands catchers that I have seen. Go pay attention to some of them catches that dude makes effortless. Like it's no effort. Like the ones when he stay in bounds and contorts his body, but it's so smooth, it's almost like his hands go. It don't look like he's struggling at all. I never seen nothing like that dude is ill with it, bro. Torrey Holt, okay. I remember Torrey Holt, but I can't say I watched him enough to really know his career, but he was nice with it, with the Rams. But I'll be fair and say I didn't watch a lot of his day to day, game to game to really say. But yeah, Pickens, bro. He's one of the best natural, just the body movement, the ease in which he reaches out, lays out. Even look at what he's doing in training camp. This dude making them catches like it ain't nothing. Just plucking the ball out the air. And like I said, it looked like his hands are like cotton. Just whoop, smooth. George Pickens is a problem. He's a serious problem, guys. I'm telling y'all now. He is a serious problem. So either, yeah. Kenya, definitely. You know Chris Carter in my bag. You already know that. Chris Carter was, but this is what I'm saying. George reminds me of that as far as his smoothness. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all understand what I'm saying. Yeah, well, Lynn Swann, again, I wasn't fortunate enough to watch him. Only seen highlights. So that's why I said, guys, in my era of football, George Pickens to me is just, I'm just talking about the effortlessness in which he catches the football. So that's what I'm saying when I say best hands. I'm not just talking about overall. I'm just talking about how effortless it looks. This dude makes it look ridiculously easy. Some of the ridiculous catches. Like George Pickens looks like he looked like he could do the Odell Beckham catch 1,000 times in a row with no effort. He just, here you go, ref. That's how the boy look. It's crazy. Yeah, I heard that CT Pittman. They said the boy is improving his route. Let me tell you something, man. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. George Pickens, I think, is gonna have a season, man. Yeah, I think he's gonna have a season. Let's see, a couple last ones, and then I'm out of here, man. Somehow we made it to an hour. What y'all got? A&R says only team beat the Chiefs. Bengals dominate guys on the outside and a defense who can keep up. Yeah. Oh yeah, Marvin Harrison. Ooh, he was nasty. And Marvin Harrison was smooth for a little guy. But see, now some of you guys are just naming guys. Again, I remember when I said this last season, a few of y'all understood what I was talking about. I'm talking about the effortlessness of his catching. How effortless he just snags the ball, contorts his body, stretches out, catches the ball soft. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like he just, it never looks like it's hard. It's like he just, bloop, bloop. So, to name all of these people, man, Hines and Calvin, come on, y'all know how I feel about Calvin. And I'm just talking about his ability and how he catches. That's what I'm talking about. And remember I said that because when he do it this season, I'm going to come on the show and be like, remember that catch? That's what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm saying. Let's see. The infamous Tim. Receivers today say GP has some of the best hands ever. I'm telling you, I can't remember who said it. I just heard somebody say it. And I tapped my wife because we was watching. I said, yo, I said the same thing about this dude. Some of y'all remember me saying that last season. I think I was even saying it his rookie season. He was making catches and I was like, yo, this dude, he made that look real easy. But yeah, he nasty, bro. But anyway, man, and you talk about, I mean, if we talk about just catches as far as just ridiculous hands and don't drop the football, how could you not include Nuke? Come on. So y'all know, I know what y'all are trying to say, but what I'm saying is different than just the catch, is the way he does it. But yeah, you cannot talk about the modern day receiver without mentioning DeAndre Hopkins. That boy don't drop nothing. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all coming in tonight, man. Of course, it's always a pleasure to sit here and chop it up with you guys. I just need y'all to do me a favor, and I really need y'all to do this for me, man. It's simple. Hit the like button. If you like the video, like it. If you're still here, you might as well subscribe. Come on, be a part of the family. And make sure you cut on them notifications, man, so you know when videos are streaming or uploaded. Hey, your boy is gaming again. It might pop out in the stream, man, with, some college football 25. So I've been running a lot of those. Why Diggy been in there? Having a good time over there. Look, CT Pittman, he been there too. He asking. Not tonight, man. Tuesday and Wednesdays are tough for me as far as, Monday nights and Tuesday nights. Those are the 2 days. Tuesday and Wednesday is I commute from PA to DC for work. Sounds crazy, right? But DC salary, I'm not boasting. I'm just saying. To have a DC salary to live where I live in Pennsylvania, can't beat it. I could do it 2 days a week. So you're not usually going to get a stream, usually not on Monday night or Tuesday night. I might get to it tomorrow, though. So be on the lookout for that. But all right, man. Love y'all like always. Appreciate y'all, man. Please hit the like button. Please share the link. Get on your Twitters and your socials and share it. It helps me grow. And as I grow, you all grow. Right? But all right, man. Outside of that, Y'all have a great night. Please be safe. Stay healthy. God bless. Thanks for tuning in. And like I always say, catch y'all in the next one. Peace.